So I saw a tag going around YouTube that I knew I just had to be a part of. Best reads so far in 2011. Just up my alley. I love reading and I love talking about the books that I love. So the first question was book that you're an evangelist for. And this has got to be Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I didn't know quite what to expect when I picked up the book, but then it turned out to be just like awesome, like all of the great space dramas. This was just right up there. Um, Great storytelling, great sci-fi, romance. I mean, and some really like shocking things that happen. So it was awesome. Just check it out. Most surprising read number two. And this is going to be a little cheating because it's an arc of a book that doesn't come out to 2012, but it's definitely my most surprising read. I read Maybe by Carolyn Starr Rose, and it's a middle grade novel in verse. And I've never read a book in verse before. I know, it's shocking, right? How can I have not checked out Ellen Hopkins? I'm going to now, I'm going to. I was just always scared by not scared, but I didn't think I would like a book in verse. But then I read this book by Carolyn Starr Rose, and it was so poignant and beautiful, and the verse just allows these line breaks that just really make some punchy, gorgeous lines. And so even though this book was a novel in verse, middle grade, and about historical fiction, which I'm not usually as gung-ho about, I loved it. It was unputdownable. I literally read it cover to cover, and I've been thinking about it ever since, so definitely most surprising read. Number three, most disappointing read. I'm going to skip this question because I'm an author and these are my colleagues. I love everything that I read. Number four, funniest read, and that's going to be Bumped by Megan McCafferty. So this the it's this dystopia about a future in which people have a hard time getting pregnant after they leave their teen years. So then there's this whole culture of teenage girls who get pregnant. Number one, the slang was hilarious. It literally cracked me up. And and then with the humor, it's just this like great heart. And you see these two sisters, seemingly so different, but then with a lot of similarities. It was pretty perfect, and it made me laugh out loud. Favorite cover? That's Cynthia Hand's Unearthly. Ever since I saw the cover reveal last year, I was like, oh my gosh, cover list, cover list. And when I held it in my hand, it was even, more beautiful because it's got the silver, it's got the purple background and then the script is in silver. Oh, gorgeous. And it perfectly matches the tone of the book. Number six, favorite character. Again, I'll be a little cheaty here because this is a book that gets released this month, I think, or really soon. The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. And so my favorite character was Alyssa. She's so relatable. She has so many of the fears and doubts and insecurities that a lot of us have. But then by the end of the novel, she's just taken this tremendous journey of growth. And it was so inspiring, and some shocking stuff happens in that book. So it has got to be on your to-be-read pile. Go pick it up. Let's see what's next. Number seven, Best New to You series. Divergent by Veronica Roth. I love this series. I started it and I was like, oh, hell yeah! Finally, a book that really matches the Hunger Games, which we started this dystopia trend, but Divergent really matches the action and excitement of Hunger Games, I thought. But obviously, this has got its own really unique world building and storytelling, and it was really exciting to read. Number eight, the most beautifully written book so far, and I'm going to double dip here with Unearthly, by Cynthia Hand again, because it was gorgeous. There were some sentences that I just wanted to put my hand across and read slowly because they were so lushly gorgeous. The series is about angels, and so the writing gets into describing glory, like angelic glory, and she manages to do it to capture the unspeakable in words. Just makes for some really lush and gorgeous prose. Number nine, most thought-provoking book, Where She Went by Gail Forman. I loved If I Stay, and I wasn't sure about where the sequel could go because it wouldn't be in the same kind of tense setting as her about to die or not. But it still managed to be just as, capturing, as engrossing. And the whole time I was just, I mean, Gail Forman is just a queen at this. She goes back and forth between memory and the present, but in a way that still manages to keep tension just pushing the whole time. Loved it. And number 10, a book that you wish you could see made into a movie. Another double dip with Divergent, because how can you not want to see people jumping out of trains onto platforms and roofs? And just there was so much great action in the movie and great set pieces. I mean, it's just naturally cinematic, I feel like. So those are some of my best reads of 2011 so far. And it's still an exciting year. There's so much exciting things coming up. And then, of course, I can't wait for next year when all of the Apocalypse books come out. So, see you later, and stay crazy.